Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carrie and this is my book corner. Hey guys, happy May. Can you believe we're already in the month of May already? To me, this year is flying by and I still can't get over the fact that my kids are done with school in less than a month. Like, excuse me. And then I know summer's going to go by like that. Last year, I swear to God, we blinked and it was time to go back to school already. So hopefully this summer will be a little bit longer than last year, but we'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, because it is May, you know what that means. It is time for my April reading wrap up. All the books I read in the month of April, and this has been my best month yet. I thought last month was my best month when I read 16 books. I beat it this month in April and I read 20 books. 20 books. Okay? I went feral in my reading this month and I absolutely had a blast. My ratings for these books, wonderful. Okay? And now I know, yes, some of my ratings could be a little bit generous and maybe they are actually a little bit lower, but like my rating system is my rating system, okay? And I also, because I'm a mood reader, I'm pretty good at picking the books that I know I'm going to like. So I'm getting pretty good at that. So a lot of the books I read are 4 stars and up because I picked that book for a reason because I knew I was going to like it. So, take that as you will. But without further ado, there's 20 books to get through. Okay. So we might as well get started. This might be a long one. I'm going to try to go pretty fast. The older books in the month, I might not have the best memory, but I'm going to try my best to remember the gist, right? The gist of them. But I will give you my ratings as well. I'm going to try to start doing that, just to give you an idea of more of how I actually felt, what that corresponds with my star rating. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. As you know, I ended March and I was reading all those daddy boy, daddy little books. Well, are you surprised that I continued with that in the start of April? I mean, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised. So the first book I read was Professor Daddy by Nora Phoenix. And this was a surprise. I mean, like I had said in my last reading wrap up, um, I read all the daddy boy books that I had physically on my shelves. So I went on my Kindle. And you ever know with your Kindle, you download lots of free books or from Stuff Your Kindle Days, and then you just forget about them. Well, this time I just searched daddy. And I basically read every single book that came up that had daddy in the title or that were about daddies and littles or daddies and boys. And this one came up, obviously, and I read it. And it was wonderful. It was with a professor student, which is not yucky because the student was like 27 years old. Okay. Okay. Professor was like in his 40s. So not much of an age gap. But the thing I liked about this one was the daddy or the Dom Hagen. He wanted a boy to train for a reunion of sorts with his former BDSM club. And then it turns out he realized why his relationships with his boys in the past didn't work out because it turns out he's not really a dom. He's more of a daddy. So him and Baxter, I think his name was, they just read it. Okay. I gave it 4 stars and I loved it. I need to read more Nora Phoenix daddy books because that was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. That was a, knock out of the park. I loved it. Second book I read was Break Me Daddy by Skylar Snow. This I was excited for because Skylar Snow co-writes one of my favorite series of Vitale Brothers with Rhea Alipiu. And I was excited to read a mafia type daddy book. I don't know. It worked. This was 5 stars. This was 5 stars. It was perfection. Okay, you get the mafia aspect, and then you also, oh my god, just read it. I honestly, because all my information is on my phone, I can't remember everything. Look up the synopsis and read it. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. And then the book I read after that, I continued the series, Fight Me Daddy, again by Skylar Snow. This one was interesting. This one also with the mafia, but the the boy, he's like 6'7" or so. He's freaking huge. He's a fighter, and you met him in the first book because he was teaching. I don't remember his name. He was teaching the love interest from the first book how to fight to be an MMA fighter, and this one, the fact that he's so huge and he just wants to be taken care of and he needs a daddy. But the thing is, his daddy um, likes to treat him like a dog, like a puppy. That took me a little to get used to. I've read Puppy Play in the past, but this one was a little harsher and a little bit with more force and a little bit of degradation. Um, but overall, 4 stars. I really enjoyed it and I had a great time. Unfortunately, there is a third book. I don't remember the name of it. It's on my list. I want to buy it and read it. I haven't read it yet. But there's supposed to be like 2 more books in the series, and she put them on hold indefinitely. So, Skylar Snow, if you're watching, can you please try to write them at some point? Take your time. Mental health is the most important, okay? I am patient. But please don't just put them off like forever. I would love to continue the series because it's wonderful. All right, number 4, obviously with the daddy books. This one is Stepdaddy by Morticia Knight. This is with stepbrothers. They haven't seen each other in a while. They were in an abusive household, and they end up reconnecting later on. And the older brother has to help the younger brother with some trouble from their abusive father. This one was good. I gave it a 3-star. Okay, I gave it a 3-star. They did have good chemistry. But for some reason, I felt the relationship was a little rushed. I think if it would have been slowed down a little bit and really spread out a little bit, their story could have been more beautiful and more well-rounded. Either way, it was still enjoyable. It's a 3-star read. It's a fine book. So I'm glad I read it. All right, the next book is, oh my God, the next 3 books are by this author, K.D. Ryan, who apparently does not exist anymore and just stopped writing. I don't know, but I am heartbroken. The first book I read is Finding His Boy. This one is with a professor, okay? He is using the college gym to work out because like his treadmill at home was broken or something. And he's in the showers and he finds this like big football player like trying to sexually assault like a smaller person, like another man. And of course, the professor, breaks it up, whatever. And he realizes that the man he just rescued used to be his student whenever he taught high school. It was so good. Okay, you have that crazy first meeting after how long from them being teacher student, right? And so there's a bit of an age gap. They have some history, right? Of course, he rescued him from this traumatic event, and the way their relationship it organically grew. I really enjoyed it. The student is a dancer. He lives off campus, and their relationship, I loved watching their relationship grow. And they were both super careful about what they should do, and they were very both guarding of their feelings. I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4-star. And of course, I had to read the second one, which was Finding His Home. This is obviously continuing with their story. And I can't say too much about it, obviously, because it's a continuation from the first one. But it was wonderful. I loved watching their relationship progress and grow and them becoming closer and dealing with a lot of real world adult problems and how they face those problems. Some things I thought they could have faced differently or could have made different decisions. But for the most part, they're real, they're raw, they're human. They make mistakes, they're flawed people. And how they dealt with the consequences was really wonderful to see. So I really enjoyed it. I gave that one a 4-star as well. And then there was a little novella. Okay. I can't find a picture of the cover anywhere online. I swear to God, this author just disappeared. This is Finding Their Way. This is like a little, it's almost like it takes place between, if I remember correctly, it kind of takes place between the two books or something. It goes back in time a little bit, and it's this whole little scene with the professor's friend. Um, and it was wonderful. It was spicy. It was steamy. And the sad part is at the end, that man, the professor's friend, he was supposed to get his own book. That was supposed to be the next book, and they never wrote it. Or they did, you can't find anywhere. I don't know. So if you have any information on KD Ryan, please let me know, because I would love to read. I think his name was Sawyer. I would love to read Sawyer's book. Okay. So that novella was also a 4-star, and I really enjoyed it. All right. Number 8 is Little Boy Blue by Wendy Rathbone. I was so excited for this one. I read the synopsis. Again, this was on my Kindle. All these were on my Kindle. Just I searched Daddy and they came up. This one I was super excited for because it talked about, it was a lawyer, Blue. He was representing this man who, I guess his family has like a bad rep for doing illegal things or whatever, but this one is like the good one, right? Who's trying to do everything legal. He gets into a little legal snafu and Blue has to defend him. And as they're leaving the courthouse, Blue is looking in his bag or something, and like a ring pop, like a lollipop pacifier thing, like falls out of his bag. And he's like completely embarrassed that his client sees it. And of course the client, he's been thinking that he wants to try to be a daddy, and he wants to find a boy of his own. And that part, it was wonderful, but the rest of the story it was so rushed. It was boom, they jumped right into it, and I did not like that at all. I gave it a 3-star because that beginning part and the whole them figuring out, I love that little aspect that's how he found out that he might be, he might be into the boy mindset. But the fact that it was so rushed and so fast paced and not in a good way, I gave it a 3-star. So unfortunately, it wasn't the greatest, but it was okay. But I wish it would have been better. I was very disappointed. And then after that, I did not have any more daddy books, at least ones that interested me. I think there were a couple more on my Kindle, but I started reading them, and I just, after like a page or two, I wasn't feeling it. So I moved on, and I got my book of the month pick, which was Mocha by Monica Kim. 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. After I finished it, I was like, do I love this more than The Eyes Are the Best Part? Now that I have more time to think about it, no. I think The Eyes Are the Best Part is still better. But Mocha is still a 5-star read. So take that as you will. It's not a bad book at all. I wish there was a little bit more with the main character being a little bit more unhinged. The Korean names, I'm so sorry. It's Dahae. I think she's the main character, and she's dating this rich guy, and turns out some hidden camera footage of them together got leaked, and he just left her high and dry. He's like, oh, I'll deal with it. Don't worry, blah, blah, blah. And then he just left her in the dust. She's left confused, like, what? I thought we loved each other. I thought we had everything perfect. While she's going through that, there's a person at her work who works in the IT department, and he has hidden cameras up in the women's restrooms, like in the stalls, and he's disgusting, and he's a nasty pervert, and he's a terrible human being. And anytime you were in his point of view, I wanted to crawl out of my skin. He's nasty. He becomes obsessed with her. And it just, the whole thing, it had, it had the same feeling of The Eyes Are the Best Part with the female rage, right? The only thing I wasn't expecting was there was like a supernatural element, which is not, I did not see that coming. But it was done well. I was surprised because when it first came up in the book, I'm like, wait, is she imagining this or is this real? And after reading it, I'm pretty sure it was real. So I think there was an actual supernatural part. But it was done really well. I loved it. There was one part where I literally like gasped, and I was like, and my son was beside me, and he's like, what happened? I was like, I'll tell you when you're an adult. Okay. It was a great book. I loved it. Like I said, I wish there was more of her being like absolutely unhinged and feral and, with more female rage. But the fact that this has a really important topic that they're talking about. I didn't know that this whole hidden camera thing, filming people without their consent, was so prevalent, especially in Korea. If you read this, read the introduction, and you really find more information, and it really makes you pissed off for these victims. And the consequences for the perpetrators are nothing. It's like a slap on the wrist, if that. Anyway, this was a 5-star read. Highly recommend it. Absolutely loved it. Monica Kim, I cannot wait for her to write more books, because right now she's an autobi author. Obviously, she's only written 2 books, but I think I'm going to love her writing in the future. So loved it. All right. The 10th book I read was 61 Hours by Lee Child, the next Jack Reacher book. This one was okay. I'm pretty sure I gave it 4 stars because of the fact it was super fast paced. It obviously, the whole entire book took place over 61 hours, and this one actually made me feel some emotions. Like, I felt for these characters, and when Lee Child kills off good people, it kind of pisses me off. But like in a good way, because it makes the reading experience a lot more intense. But yeah, this one was great. Jack Reacher is still like on his way to Virginia, but he gets stuck in this town, and he has to obviously deal with what he has to deal with for 61 hours. I enjoyed it. I really did. So there's that one. And the next book is Worth Dying For. I did a whole reading vlog on this, so if you want to know more about it, check it out. I'll put it in the description below, but I gave it 4 stars, and it was a solid installment in the Reacher series, and I'm excited to continue. So there you go. It's Worth Dying For. The next one is, are you ready for this one? I finally read Queen of Carrion by Aidan Pierce and R.K. Pierce. I don't know if you remember the last couple videos, I have been begging for your help because the special edition copy I have had pages missing, and no one helped me. Okay. Luckily, an angel on Facebook helped me out, and she was able to send me pictures, screenshots from her Kindle, and I was able to finally fill in the blanks of the missing story, and I was able to finish the book. Finally, someone helped me. This was the continuation of Lord of Bones with Raven and Belial. And this one was wonderful because Raven, she's been kidnapped by one of Belial's brothers, and Belial has to basically go through all like the floors of hell and try to find her, because she's being passed from brother to brother to brother, and each floor is just worse and worse and worse. And I absolutely loved it. 4 stars. It was wonderful. It was a great duet. And I'm pretty sure the same person who helped me find the missing information, she said that there's a novella. It's kind of like a Christmas novella with Belial and Raven, and I need to read it because I need more of those too. So I highly recommend the Deathbound duet because I had a blast and it was wonderful. Obviously check triggers, but it was wonderful. I loved it. The next book. Okay. I don't know if you're on Facebook. There's a group called, I think it's the Smut Hood. I think it's where I found this from. And someone posted this screenshot of a scene from this book. And they're like, what is this? What is this screenshot from? Like, they found it somewhere and they didn't know what it was. And people were saying, oh, it's from Wattpad or what have you. But finally, someone posted a link for the actual book. And it's Awake by Malada Morrigan. This book was so freaking good. I thought it was going to be so cheesy. It is cheesy. Okay, I take that back. It is cheesy. But it's also high steam. It is spicy. It's spicy. It is just smut with a little bit of plot. Oh my God. Read it. If you want, if you just want some like decently written smut, it's so good. What is he? Is he a dragon? He like kidnapped this princess and has her under a spell where she's asleep, and she'll sleep for like forever or whatever. He's planning to keep her forever. And then it turns out that, well, and then obviously the whole time that they're together, he's, doing stuff with her, and years and years and years and years, like decades of this. And eventually he has to figure out what to do because he needs to figure out if he's going to wake her up or not. Meanwhile, the whole time, all these knights and stuff are trying to come and slay the dragon and rescue the princess, even though it's been like decades and decades and decades and decades. This was wonderful. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't care if it's just smut with no plot. I don't freaking care. It was wonderful and I had a great time and I'm going to reread it. So, there you go. That's Awake. I loved it. 5 stars, obviously, if I didn't say. Obviously. The next is another 5-star read, which I read in my reading vlog. It's Of Thorns and Wings by Darva Green. This was the conclusion of her little story with Caraboss and Rosemary, of Dreams and Poison. And this one was, again, it was wonderful. If you want to see more of my thoughts, check out my reading vlog. I loved it. I loved it. 5 stars, perfection. And her next book is a Little Mermaid retelling. Yeah, I already signed up for the arc. Fingers crossed I get picked so I can read it because I need it. Like I need air. Okay? Love it. All right, the next one is The Affair by Lee Child. Again, in my reading vlog if you want to know more information. But this was the prequel from whenever Reacher was in the army. And it's basically his last chunk of time in the army before he left. And this basically shows why he left, which was very interesting. And I'm super glad I read it. And I gave it a 4-star. I really liked it. I can't wait to read the next one because it sounds like because now he's out of the military and from this prequel, pretty sure there's not going to be any more prequels. So I'm excited to continue on with his present day journey. So I liked it. It was 4 stars. I really liked it. I'm glad you finally found out because he's always mentioned like why he left the military, but this one actually, now you know all the details of it and like actually why he left. So I like that aspect of it. So there you go. All right. The next book I read, number 16, was an arc. Miss Odessa Highwell, my favorite person ever. She sent me an arc of Private Lessons with Daddy, lesson number 2. This is her MF Taboo series or a couple books, novellas so far. Lesson 1 was wonderful, and because I had read that last month, if you remember. And this one was better than the first. This one was better than the first. Okay, he taught her some more things. Let's just say that. I really enjoyed it. I hope she's going to continue more. I'm a little nervous because in lesson number 2, he basically told her like, oh, lesson number 3 is this, lesson number 4 is this, lesson number 5 and 6 is this. So I'm like, is she going to write those lessons? Or, I mean, I don't know. I hope she does. If not, this was still a solid read. I gave it like 4 stars, maybe 4.25. I really liked it. If you like Taboo, this was with father-daughter. Short, spicy, taboo smut. That's all it is. And I had a blast. So there's that one. All right. Now, the last few are from a series. I have this box set from Fake Crate that I bought basically because of the covers. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. But I finally started reading them because they are short. They are very, very short books. And my husband had read the first one, The Dragon's Bride by Katie Robert. Okay. He had read the first one. He said he liked it, but he didn't like how rushed it was. And I understand that because, I mean, I looked at the size of the book. It's pretty darn short. Okay. And if you have to have a full on love story, you know, it kind of has to be rushed. But anyway, so I went into it knowing that it might be rushed. I liked it. This is a Deal with a Demon series, and it's basically this head demon. He's a bargainer demon, and he brought in the 4 rulers of these different realms to come in and have like an auction. They pick a human who made a deal with the bargainer demon, right? They made a deal where they would give up 7 years of their life into the demon realm in order to get their wish, right? Whether it's money or power or to help someone else or get them out of trouble, what have you. So the first one is obviously, like I said, The Dragon's Bride, and it's the human. She made a deal to get out of an abusive marriage. She gets picked at the auction by a dragon, little dragon man, and they have to get married and hopefully produce an heir. Okay, and part of all their deals is if they ever do have a child, after the 7 years are up, they have to leave the child with their father, and they have to leave the child in the demon realm, and then they go back to like the real world. So yeah, there's tension, there's drama, but you know how all romances go, they do end up falling in love, and I did not find it rushed. There was one part, yes, if she would just change it from like 1 month, if she would just change instead of 1 month, if she would just write a 6 months later instead of 1 month later, it would have been perfection. No rush, perfect, 5-star, done. I gave this a 4-star because it was a little rushed, but besides that, it was a wonderful story and I really enjoyed it. And then the second book in that same series is The Kraken's Sacrifice. Same thing. Okay. The human made a deal, blah, blah, blah. The Kraken picked her. Okay. This one was interesting because he's a Kraken, right? He's covered in tentacles and what have you. And she doesn't know how to swim. So that was a very humorous little part of their relationship. They really like don't like each other at first. I mean, she like is like attracted to him, but he's getting over the death of his husband and he doesn't think he'll ever find love again. Yeah. Yeah. This was cute. I get 4 stars. It was a good installment in the series. I enjoyed it. The next one is The Gargoyle's Captive, again by Katie Robert. This one was interesting. I did not like the woman. Okay. The human. The gargoyle was freaking adorable and I loved it. Oh my God. I just want to pinch his cheeks. Oh my God. He was so great. Like his whole court or his whole realm thinks that he's like under this curse because his whole family was slaughtered and he lived. And they think he's cursed. So no one wants to be around him. No one wants to get with him. No one wants to mate with him. No one wants to do anything with him. So he's basically just living this lonely existence. And he gets her, okay? And all she wants to do is escape. It's rude, okay? Anyway, this was great. There was a little twist, which was not a twist because you saw it coming from the first page. But it was still enjoyable and I liked it. And I still gave it 4 stars. All right, we're finally down to the end, guys. This is so long, but the 20th book I read in the month of April is The Succubus's Prize by Katie Robert. Okay, this is sapphic, which I was so looking forward to. I saw the cover and I was like, say less. Let's do this. Let's read this and get this done. I love it. This was my least favorite so far. I gave it 3.5, which looking back, I think I would give it a 3. But I'll keep 3.5 as my official rating. This was different. The head demon, Azazel, I think that's how you pronounce it. That's how I call him. Azazel was telling the succubus, hey, you need to be careful with this human because her mental health is like, she'll do whatever if she's like a people pleaser and she won't think about the dangers to herself. So the succubus, she knows about feelings and emotions and, that's why Azazel made her pick her basically. Like you need to be careful with her because Azazel, even though he's a demon, he's like, he's like a good guy. He cares about his humans and he doesn't want the human to get hurt. So that was interesting. So yeah, so this one was different in that aspect that she's like, okay, I'll do this. Okay, bam, I'll have a child. I'll do that. It's like, whoa. Like, slow down and actually think about, like, she didn't think about the consequences and it was kind of annoying. And the whole thing with her, which I hated, again, personal opinion, every page is her talking about her religion. She had a lot of religious trauma. Okay. I know I try to put myself in her shoes, but I can't. She's a grown woman. Like, it's not that hard to just realize that your parents were fucking stupid and they were wrong. But again, that's a personal thing. I don't know. I'm not religious. But it was annoying because she kept on talking about. Oh, this is a sin. This is a sin. This is a sin. This is a sin. I feel ashamed. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. Shut up. My God. Like this person, like the succubus demon woman lady, is being super sweet to you and super nice and allowing you to feel what you're feeling without judgment. And you just keep on talking about it's a sin. You're not thinking about how that feels to anyone else. It's not a sin. Okay. Anyway, I gave it 3.5 stars, but now that I'm talking about and venting about it, I'd like give it a 3. Also, I do not enjoy, again, this is another personal this is another personal thing. There's some stories and books where it works. This one, it didn't. The whole, what do they call it? Ethical non-monogamy. I don't like that. I don't like that. I've read books where they're, hell, I've read the chain reaction series where like 5 men are all in love with each other. Okay. But they're still monogamous with all 5 of them. So I love that because they're all in love equally with each other. Okay. This, they're in love, right? They fall in love. And again, that's not a spoiler. It's a romance. You know the ending. But the whole like, oh yeah, I can just screw that person. I can screw that person. I can screw that person. But I don't want a relationship with them. I just want to screw them and then go back to my, no, I'm sorry. Again, personal opinion. I like monogamy in my romance books. Sue me. I do. So there you go. Anyway, those are the 20 books I read in the month of April, and it's insane how much I've read. The sad thing is that it's already May, whatever, and I've not read anything. So I'm not going to match 20 books. I'm probably not even going to match 16 books from last month. Hopefully I will at least finish a book. That would be nice. But we'll see. Currently, if you can't tell, I am reading that Demon or Deal with a Demon series, and so I'm on the next one, The Demon's Bargain. And I'm not loving it. I started reading it basically right away. These last 4 books, as soon as I finished Dragon's Bride, I put it away, got out the Kraken book, Kraken Sacrifice, and then as soon as that one's over, I put it away and got out the Gargoyle's Captive. As soon as that was done, I say, you know what I mean? So as soon as the Succubus's Prize was over, of course I didn't love that one, but still I was like, let's continue. So put that away and got this one out. I'm not liking it. I'm not liking the woman, the female main character. So far, I was excited for the demon. If you see them on the bottom, I think they go by they them pronouns. I'm not sure. I was excited for their story, but now I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see if I will come back to it. I will finish. I just need to get in the mood for it and finally hunker down and finish it. But that's what I'm currently reading. And yeah, let me just take a sip of water. This was a lot of talking. So those are the 20 books I read. That's what I'm currently reading. I would love to know in the comments how many books you read in the month of April and what was your favorite. Okay, I would love to know. Let me know. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, check me out over there. I would love to have you. And if you haven't already, please like this video. Really, it gets my video out there, and subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to grow this community and really get more bookish people over here so we can talk about and obsess about books together, especially queer books or supernatural paranormal books. I don't know. I don't care. Any books in general. I love it. And yes, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it was so long, but I cannot believe I read that many books. Like, excuse me? 20? You guys go, and I will see you guys in my next video. All right? Bye, guys.